Hey guys, it's David again, and as you can see behind me, my truck, Helga, is all tore apart because there's a lot of maintenance that needs to be done to this truck. It's been pretty overdue, honestly, because of all of the punishment that this truck has been through, towing the trailer up and down mountains and all of the off-roading that this truck has done over the past 7 years that we've been full-time RVers. Obviously, having vehicle maintenance and repairs done when you're a full-time RVer is much more difficult and complicated than if you're, living in a house. And so I just wanted to make this video to explain to you guys how I handle vehicle maintenance and repair as a full-time RVer. But again, my name's David, this is Unbound, and if you like this video, then please consider subscribing. It would really help me out. So if you're unfamiliar, my truck here is a 2004 Chevy Silverado 2500 HD with the Duramax diesel. And all the punishment that this truck has been through over the years has caused basically its entire steering and suspension system to be just ruined. And so what we are replacing is the front upper and lower ball joints, the lower control arm and upper control arm bushings, the inner and outer tie rods, both front and rear shocks, the power steering pump, the steering pitman arm and idler arm, as well as the steering box and the front wheel hubs. And I'm actually really excited to get this job done because I've never done a job like this on a truck before. This is actually the first truck I've ever owned. And from everything I've read and heard from other people, once you replace just the bushings and the ball joints on the control arms, the trucks drive basically like brand new. And in this job, we're doing much, much more than that. And you can see I have to do some power steering related things too, because all of this fluid you can see that sort of coated the driver's side wheel well of the truck is because of various power steering leaks that have happened. And unfortunately, those power steering leaks have caused the power steering pump to just become cavitated, and it's ruined the power steering pump as well. And so yeah, there's a lot we're doing to this truck, and once we're finished, man, I'm excited. She's gonna drive like new. Before we go any further though, I wanna really quickly tell you about this month's Patreon giveaway item, and that is the JF.EGWO 6000 amp lithium jump starter. And what's really cool about this unit is it has its own lithium battery bank, and so you don't need another car to jumpstart your engine in case, your battery dies. And so it completely replaces jumper cables, so I won't be needing those anymore. It comes in a really small, nice, protective carrying case, and inside is the jump starter itself, as well as the alligator clips to clip onto your car's battery to jumpstart the vehicle, a charging block to charge the unit, and a couple of different charging cables that you can charge your various devices with using this jump starter. And this jump starter is really easy to use. You just plug the alligator clips into the end there, press the power button to turn it on. It even has a little flashlight on the end there, in case you're doing this at night, can help you see. And you just plug the alligator clips onto the negative and positive terminals of the battery. And then the unit will begin charging your batteries. You can go ahead and fire up your vehicle. But, we're working on this truck right now, and so we've got it up on jack stands and jacked up off the ground, so I'm not gonna start it. Plus, my battery is not dead, it's fully charged, so we're good to go. And what's awesome about this 6000 amp jump starter specifically compared to other brands that may be smaller than this one is this can start up to a 13-liter diesel engine. This is a 6.6-liter diesel engine, and it has 2 batteries in it. And so, you just need a larger jump starter to start diesel engines than you do gasoline. But like I said, this one's rated to start a 13-liter diesel engine, so I'm pretty safe having this one. But if you're interested in checking this out for yourself, I'll go ahead and drop a link in the video description below. But good news for patrons of this channel, you'll be automatically entered for a giveaway of this item, and that giveaway will be happening in 2 weeks. And these are valued on their website at $299, but right now they're selling on Amazon for 170 bucks. But yeah, so patrons are eligible to win this. Well, all right, let's get back to maintaining this truck. And right now we're back in our hometown in Indiana visiting my parents for the holidays, and that's why videos haven't been going up as regularly as usual, because I've just been using this time to, you know, spend that time with my parents over the holidays. But man, let me tell you, going from the warmth and sun and dry deserts of Arizona straight on to the cold, snowy, bitterly frozen winters of Indiana has been a huge shock. But you know, now that we're here with my parents and I have access to an actual garage, that's when I figured now is the time to do this maintenance on the truck. Whew, okay, it is bitterly cold out there. It is way below freezing outside right now, even though it's the middle of the day, so back in the garage where it's a little warmer. But like I said, vehicle maintenance as a full-time RVer is a lot more difficult and complicated, especially for someone like me that prefers to do all of their vehicle maintenance themselves. Back when I lived here in Indiana, I would maintain my vehicles almost entirely by myself. And somehow I've still been able to continue doing that as a full-time RVer. There's only been one single job on the truck here that I actually took into a mechanic to have them do, and it was because it was an acutely critical issue that needed to be solved immediately, and we were in no position to be able to handle that job ourselves. It was a power steering failure, of course, which, like I said, this truck has been having issues with that we're going to completely fix during this job also. We just had power steering fluid gushing out, and the brake booster was the problem. Power steering fluid was just being pumped out of a leak in the brake booster, and so I had to take that in and have that replaced. When it comes to typical, just routine maintenance like oil changes, transmission fluid and filter changes, rear differential fluid changes, air filter, you know, stuff like that, I do all of that myself just on site. Wherever we're at, I'll try to find the most level spot I can for the truck, and I'll perform those fluid changes and such just at whatever campsite we're at. And of course, I'm extremely careful to make sure that there's no spills at all, because I don't want any oil or any of those fluids leaking down into the ground when, you know, we're in the national forest, BLM land, etc. I carry a slew of tools with me. I have a toolbox in the back of the truck, and then I have even more tools inside of the pass-through of our trailer, so I can handle most easy to moderate jobs myself wherever we're at. But when it comes to the more serious, in-depth jobs, like this one, you know, when we're dealing with suspension, steering, you know, those more complicated systems, then thankfully I have my dad's garage here where I regularly visit. You know, Ro and I come back to visit my parents typically around the holidays like Christmas and New Year's, and so I save those tougher jobs that I need, you know, more advanced tools with, and a garage, you know, jack stands, stuff like that. I save those jobs for when we're back in town. And that's the same for the travel trailer too. You know, if you've been a part of the channel for a while, you've seen various trailer maintenance jobs, like when I re-greased my bearings, I did those here at my parents' house while I was visiting. And yeah, it's really, I'm really thankful that I have this resource that, you know, I've got my parents' house and my dad's garage and all of his tools to be able to perform those jobs. But when it comes to someone that, isn't necessarily mechanically inclined or isn't ready to tackle extreme jobs like this one themselves, the best thing I can do is when you're in an area, just pay really close attention to the reviews for specific mechanic shops. That's what I did when I had to have my power steering system serviced. I just read all the reviews for the mechanic shops in the area, and I was able to find one that I felt really good about taking my truck into, and they did an excellent job at a fair price, thankfully. However, if you are able to tackle jobs like this yourself, man, can you save a lot of money. If you've got friends or family that have a barn or a garage that you can perform these types of jobs in when you're in the area, when you're in town, then I highly recommend that, because the parts for this job that we're doing cost between $400 and $500, I think. But if I were to take this truck in to have all of the things done that I said, we're talking $4,000 maybe, especially on a diesel, because on diesels, they just jack the price up for jobs. And if you guys are interested, I can show you some of the more glaring issues with the old parts on this truck that have made it pretty obvious that these jobs need to be done. So the first one, I've got the front shocks. I have an old one and I've got a new one. And so I can compress both of these down by hand, and you can see the new shock is extending on its own while the old one is not. It's just sitting there where it's supposed to extend, and the other old shock is the same. It just sits there and doesn't extend again on its own. So it's pretty clear that the old shocks are shot. And this is the driver's side upper control arm. And the ball joint here, you can see the boot is just completely ripped. And the passenger side is no better. There's a large tear in the boot for the ball joint as well. And unfortunately, the lower control arm ball joint boots are ripped also. And here is the tie rod end. You can see that that boot is completely destroyed also. And so, yeah, all of these components absolutely need to be changed. And then here on the driver's side lower control arm, you can see that this bushing has a really big tear in it. And so, yeah, that bushing is bad. Thankfully, not all of the bushings are in terrible condition. You can see this one right here isn't bad. The rubber is old and worn, but it's, not all of them are shredded like that one is. And there are various steering components still mounted to the truck that we haven't got off yet, like the steering idler arm, the pitman arm, and the steering box. The steering box has a very clear power steering leak from the bottom of it, and so that needs replaced as well. And then the wheel bearings, there's nothing visually wrong with them, the wheel hubs, but when we had the tires still on the truck, grabbing the top and bottom of the tires, there was a little bit of play shaking the tire on the top and bottom, and that indicates a wheel hub failure and that the wheel hubs need replaced as well. But that's how I handle vehicle maintenance and repairs as a full-time RVer, as well as repairs to the travel trailer. I'm super thankful that I have parents that allow me to do these jobs in their garage. Not just allow, but my dad is actually kind of excited about it. Me and my dad, we're very similar in that we're both wrenchers. We love getting under vehicles and just performing maintenance, upgrades, all that stuff. I kind of feel at home when I'm under a vehicle working on it. It's just it's a hobby that my dad and I have always shared together, and so it's fun doing a project like this with him. But I'm interested to hear from you guys about how you handle vehicle maintenance and repair, not only on, like, say, your tow vehicles, but also on your motorhome, your travel trailers, fifth wheels, any of those. I'm curious to hear if you have any creative ways that you've come up with handling vehicle maintenance. And so please leave a comment down below to let me know how you guys deal with this. But again, my name's David. This is Fate Unbound. Thanks again for watching, guys. And I'm gonna get my dad out here and we're gonna get back to work. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Okay, I
Make
see
sure
what you're
they're
saying.
not, like,
So you
hooked
want me to pull it out from the front here?
I think so.
Yeah, I got it.